another episode of Kerah Speaks. I am Kerah. If you haven't been to kerahspeaks.com today, go ahead and check it out. I have merch. You can also get my book, Healing Cost Me Everything. Also, follow me on Instagram. I'm really trying to build that page up. So go ahead to Instagram right now. Go to Instagram right now and go to Kerah Speaks. You'll find me on there. Hit the like button also and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the episode. So today I want to talk about choosing yourself without villainizing anyone. So there's something I really had to learn the hard way, and that is how many times that, we stay connected to people who don't really feed our spirit, who don't really nourish us, right? And if I'm being honest, the feeling might be mutual sometimes, and we don't realize it. And because we may have been knowing each other for a long time and that history is there, we don't want to come to terms with it. We don't want to tell the truth about it. And not because, people are bad people. It's just that because, being alone sometimes, it can feel lonely. Because, they always say, sometimes just because you're alone doesn't mean you are lonely. But sometimes it does. And people don't want to feel that. Nobody wants to, go out and do things by themselves. They want a community. Community is what makes us human. It's what makes us feel connected. So, sometimes we'll stay in places a lot longer than we need to because we want to feel connected, even though it may not be aligned. So there was a pattern that I had to come to terms with about myself is, and realize that I was staying and realize why I was staying in rooms that I didn't feel where I was seen or where I felt like it didn't feed my soul. I had to think about the conversations that I was having, the conversations that felt surface level, that felt hollow, that just felt like I was just circling the drain. I leave those interactions feeling less fulfilled than I normally would. And because I know that I crave conversations of depth. And I don't even mean like conversations that are heavy in spirit, just like conversations that mean something. Those things are important to me. And when I'm not able to have those conversations, I kind of feel a little empty and a little distant. But, I stayed anyway. And not because that the connection wasn't deep. It was because there was a void inside of me that I had not healed yet. I had not realized that I was missing something. And I was reaching for something. I was trying to connect to something and fill a void that they could not fill. It's not about blaming them or trying to feel superior, saying, oh, well, I require depth and they're surface level. That's not what it's about. It's about being on two different paths and understanding that those paths sometimes do not intersect, and that's okay. Sometimes we stay connected to people. Sometimes we stay connected to people simply because we like them. They're funny. They're a joy to be around. They're good people. A misalignment does not necessarily mean that I'm connected to people who are bad. You are more than likely connected to people who are really good for you, but it does not nourish you. It does not help you expand. When we are around people that we like, we stay because being alone forces us to see ourselves. It forces us to look at who we are and think about the people that we choose, the choices that we make. And sometimes people want to avoid those things. So they just decide to distract themselves with people who are not walking the same paths. We don't want to sit with our emotions. We don't want to sit with those unhealed places. We don't want to feel those wounds that are still tender that we haven't dealt with. We seek reassurance and validation, and we go to places where we belong. And instead of facing that unhealed place, we fill it with proximity. If I'm around these people, then I won't feel those wounds anymore. But then once you step away and you're by yourself and you're alone with your thoughts, you still feel empty. You still feel like there is something that I'm missing. There is something else that I need. Instead of trying to fill the void and search for what I need in other people, how do I feel it? It's this girl on Instagram that I follow. She's actually a therapist, and her name is Kerah Speaks. And go out. She's a licensed therapist in Texas. So if you need therapy in Texas, go ahead and look her up. But she said something so profound, and it really sat in my spirit. And she said, We will always be in relationship with ourselves. We will always be in a relationship with ourselves. It is the longest relationship that we have will be with ourselves. And when I tell you that quote stopped me in my tracks, and I said, yes, that's true. We will always be in relationship with ourselves. So why not make my own dreams come true? Why not give myself what I have been looking for? Why not fill me up with the things that I desire? Why not make my life what I want it to be? Instead of waiting for somebody to give me what I have been chasing for all my life, I'm going to be with me always. And also, to put a cherry on top, the Father is in me. He has given me everything that I have been looking for. And if the longest relationship that we have is with ourselves, then avoiding yourself is going to be even more exhausting and even more painful than any relationship you're ever going to have. The more you keep trying to chase after something in somebody else, you are avoiding yourself, and that's draining. You cannot outsource your needs to other people. It's never going to work. So I started asking myself real questions, thinking about, why am I chasing people to give me what I already have in myself? What is it that I'm hoping that they would give me? Is it consistency? Is it affirmations? Is it emotional safety? Is it laughter, presence? Is it to be seen and validated? What is it that I'm looking for? So I started to practice giving myself those things. And it didn't happen overnight. It did not happen overnight. That stuff was a process, still is a process. But slowly and surely, I became more confident and I became more steady in being satisfied in giving those things to myself. And now I feel fulfilled in that I don't reach for people to understand me or give me things that I need. I don't need anybody to understand me or understand my creative work or understand why certain things mean so much to me. Only thing I need you to do is respect me. I became the person of my dreams. I realized that I didn't need for people to become better. I needed to become present with myself. I needed to show up in the way that I wanted other people to show up for me. Now I speak kindly to myself. I choose environments that feel at peace instead of chaotic. I don't choose environments where I have to contort myself in order to fit. I'm not meant to fit in. I'm meant to spread my wings. I don't need to be in places that feel familiar in order to be connected. Be the person that you have been waiting for. That's all I got. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. If you got something out of it, leave me a comment below. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time on Kerah Speaks.